Well, I did not wake up this morning expecting to talk about this subject, but here we are. Yeah, this entire situation is a complete and utter confusing rabbit hole. Look, I just spent the last hour and a half on my Twitch trying to decipher and research and investigate what's going on, but it's like super confusing and it just grows more and more confusing. To provide some context, the situation here is about this hideaway AMV. And let me explain what that is. There's a YouTube channel by the name of Verbalase. Features this guy who does something called cartoon beatbox battles. And the story goes that he spent $50,000 on essentially an animated Hazbin Hotel AMV. This AMV was around 3 minutes long, almost, 2D animated, and again, allegedly cost $50,000 to make. And the weird thing is that, like a few days ago, this popped up on Twitter. Folks were like, whoa, look at this AMV for Hazbin Hotel. And I saw it, I'm like, what's the story behind this? Oh, it's the guy from the cartoon beatbox YouTube channel, which again is not a small channel. It's a very popular channel. We'll talk more about that here in a second. But like, why is his cartoon avatar running from Charlie? What's going on here? Why is Charlie chasing him down? What's happening here? What was the purpose of this animated short? And I'm like, did he put this up on his channel? Because Verbalase with his YouTube channel is mostly like a bunch of iconic like characters beatboxing against one another. Groot versus Pennywise, or Thanos versus Patrick. These videos are so, like, I'd say infamous, but, you know, popular, such good meme energy that I see a lot of these beatboxing, like, clips being used for shitpost. And I'm like, okay, so that's the guy from those videos. What's he doing here with Charlie? Was this on his channel? So I went to go look for it. I couldn't find it anywhere, at least a good copy. I found like this 360p version on YouTube was like, you know, really low quality, and I couldn't find anything anywhere else. It was a complete and utter mystery. So of course, I was hooked. I'm like, what happened here? There's got to be a story. And the story goes with quite a few alleged claims. One, that this bankrupt the guy's channel. And I'm like, okay, what do you mean bankrupt? Did he declare bankruptcy? Is that a term that's being loosely thrown around? Let's dig more into that, I said. And I looked, and the most I could figure out is, okay, his channel has been on the decline. He's made videos saying that beatbox battles haven't made as much money and haven't had as many views as they once had. Because this guy's channel made like over 100 million views with his highest performing video, and then a bunch under that are like 50 million, 30 million, 20 million, 20 million. So like he bats pretty high. He's got a pretty big like viewer threshold as far as how many views he gets on these episodes. However, said views have dropped as of late. Look, I think he's starting to get a dose of reality, and we can only say that, okay? He's made a video saying, hey, we're not getting as many views as we once were, and we're in trouble, and I need support on Patreon, and I need your support here and there through, you know, hey, we're doing a contest, for example, and you can do 10 seconds of animation, and I might choose you, and I might use it for a video, which is not for his main series, but some like standalone video, but still that's we'll talk more about that here in a bit. But as far as us saying, like, is he bankrupt? Depends. Did he spend $50,000 on this AMV? And all we have to go off of are screen-capped Discord messages, which, you know, I'm trying to use a critical lens here. I don't want to take anything for just 100% face value, okay? Because that leads to misinformation, potentially, and Discord messages can be easily forged. So, yes, we've got these Discord message screen caps where you got Verbalase saying, yeah, I spent $47,000 on this Hazbin Hotel AMV. It's based off this music video, which, unfortunately, for the person who made that music, that song, Hideaway, I think it's called like Snidsum or something like that. Hold on, I got it written down. Snapson? Man, I feel bad for you. Your music video and your song has been completely commandeered. It's gone. You will no longer have this song for yourself. It now belongs to the people and the internet, apparently. The messages go that he made this, not for his main channel, because it might get tagged by YouTube. And again, this is around 2021 is when these messages say they were typed. So 3 years back or so. I will say that there's some timing here that looks rough on his end, because his rhetoric of like things getting worse on his channel started about 3 years ago. He had a video not too long ago where he also said like, yo, we're not doing so well. We're not getting our, views as high as they once were, AKA lower viewership equals less money. Apparently these episodes cost $20,000 to $30,000 each for the actual official episodes of the rap battles or the beatboxing battles on his channel. So that means 3 years ago, in theory, according to these Discord messages, he decided to drop an alleged $47,000 on this standalone project that wasn't going to be on his main channel. I think he realizes it wouldn't work on his main channel, that he was going to do it on a second channel or some other side hustle, that I guess it was uploaded to that channel, then removed, became a bit of lost media. Some people on Discord claim that they had the video, shared it, uploaded it, and that now the cat's out of the bag. Pandora's Box has been open because we're all looking at this going, what was the point? Why did you make this? Was this just for you? Was this for viewers? What was the objective here? So there's a lot of fog of war here. We're not really sure. Apparently, also a 15-year-old allegedly animated this. I don't know if I believe that 100%. Because like the animation itself isn't poorly done. It's not bad. It's competent. And to have a 15-year-old do this alone, that's a high order. I don't know if I believe that. Maybe someone young worked on it. And the thing is, we don't know anything about the folks who's Chase? What's this watermark? How many folks were involved in this? Was it 1, 2? Or was it a larger production? Who made this? I respect, they want to remain anonymous, but at this point, we don't know. We know so little. But that being said, let's get this straight out the gate. If he did go to folks who are less than 18 to make this, yeah, not a good idea. It's never a good idea. I stand by that for like basically anything. Where Discord servers, no minors allowed. Project, no minors allowed. It's just you're asking for trouble. And there's even like some Discord message from like the server he has with some mod being like, as of late, we know that this video is going viral and we're trying to ban it and keep it out of the server because it's kind of inappropriate and we've got children on our server. And it's like, the guy who made the server and the kids who join your server, do you see the connection here? Like maybe he shouldn't have made this. Maybe this was not the best optics. And that's what I'm getting at, is that like the entire optics of this project seem quite foolish, where it's like, I don't think you quite knew what you were doing here. Because at the end of the day, if this is just you dropping a big bag to make a self-serving, self-insert video that kind of hits your persuasions, okay, fine. But putting it up on YouTube or trying to get any kind of return on investment didn't work, dude. It really backfired. Hey, by the way, mad props to the animation folks and the artists who got paid. Props to you. I think that's awesome. I will always be like, can you imagine, what if it was a 15-year-old who made this, all right? Again, there's some problems there, but like, can you imagine being 15 and having $50,000 given to you in theory, if that is the case? Here's the thing, let's say we cut it down to 1/10. Well, let's say it was just 1/10 of 50,000, that's still $5,000. That's not a small amount. What I'm getting at here is the money that was spent didn't really provide it did not yield the results to justify its creation, especially when you've got videos where you're like, we're on the decline, we're getting blacklisted, the YouTube notification's not working. We're gonna start having animators submit their own animated 10 seconds worth of animation for a project that might get picked. And if we do pick it, 1 out of 9 people might get a plushie. No. That's not cool. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. There's collaborations, like I do a lot of reanimation projects, or I've done one and I'm currently working on another. You've got to have good optics for that. That it's a rising tide lifting all boats, that it's nonprofits. But to do it where it's like, this is obviously folks submitting a lot of animation to your channel and to claim it's a community thing, it just makes me feel iffy. It rubs me in the wrong way because you're asking people to give you free work, essentially for exposure. And I do find it ironic that you're like, my channel's dying. No one's watching my videos. We only got 1.4 million views compared to the nearly 5.5 million on my channel for subscribers. We're dying here. However, I'll pay you an exposure if you help me out. Again, bad optics.
I am looking for 9 animators and content creators to help create a segment in Luigi's Beatbox. Luigi's Beatbox has been divided into 9 different parts, with each part consisting of 10 seconds, which means you guys, whoever you are, will have 10 seconds to animate or create their portion of the video. It'll help you win the contest. Yes, contest. Out of the 9 people chosen, one of you will win a signed Verbalase plushie. But even if you don't win, your channel will still get promoted on my channel. You can tell your friends, hey, I did a part in Luigi's Beatbox. It's going to be really cool. So it's a win-win situation. I can't put out videos if they aren't being watched by anyone. My last video of Pikachu versus Groot doesn't even match the amount of subscribers I have.
So yeah, it's a lot of Discord screen caps, a lot of hearsay. We can't 100% confirm it, but like, let's say if we work off of a worst case scenario here, like it looks pretty bad. You spent a lot of money for money that you probably shouldn't have spent. You should have been saving it for your actual projects, and you wasted a lot of money on something that didn't really give you a return on investment. And being the YouTuber that he is, I'd imagine he has to have some degree of business savviness to know, like, hey, I'm spending a lot, where does it go to? Because like, even if it's a complete wipe, you have to accept that loss and say, worst case scenario, I don't get any return on investment here. Like, I've been there. I've released this like 20 seconds worth of rap battle for this project that was for the Jehovah's Witness cartoon I'm working on. I'm still working on it, and I might end up scrapping it, but I accept that loss. And I look at the product and I go, hey, it's still a really cool final result with Moses rapping. That's fine. That's not going to bankrupt me. However, spending so much money on a 3-minute animated AMV, that's a different animal. Like, let's break it down. If it's like 1 frame, you know, let's say they're getting paid $10 per frame, okay? 24 frames per second. Let's go with that. Times 3 minutes or whatever, it roughly crunches out to like over $45,000, give or take. I could be wrong with my estimates with how I'm trying to quantify this, but still, the entire $50,000 price point, initially I was like, that can't be that much, right? And then I watched the AMV a few times, and folks would be like, yeah, I'm sure you did, bastard. But like, yeah, that's not impossible. Animation's not cheap. It's not. And you think him, of all people, would understand that it's like, because now he's been on the decline, going from 100 million, 50 million, 20 million, and now his recent projects aren't doing so hot. And the thing is, like, you need those pie-in-the-sky, lofty views in order to justify your $20,000 to $30,000 production per episode. You're running a big machine here, and in order to make it financially sustainable, you need ultra-viral levels of viewership. And to be fair, there's enough precedent on his channel, viewership-wise, to justify it. But like, when you look at this AMV though, it's like, you have to know, because this is post-adpocalypse, you have to know this wasn't going to be a financial return. On the main channel, on a second channel, so was it just for you? And I do wonder about how much extras on this side that we viewers didn't see. Because I guess for context, I should have said this early in the video, the entire animation's about his OC running from Charlie, from Hazbin Hotel, don't tell Vaggie, by the way, chasing him through hell, and then her tying him down and bedding him as it goes. That's it. So, and there's like some Discord message where he's saying like, oh, the original music video is like disgusting, this one will be better. And it's like, I don't know, dude. I guess good luck. And lo and behold, it kind of backfired. And here's the thing. I wanted to find out if these Discord messages are true. I wanted to find what's valid, what's actually legitimate. I tried to join the Discord server he has. It's currently on lockdown, so surprise, surprise. So I can't really verify that. These Discord messages could be fake. We don't know. We don't know. We have to at least be critical enough to say that. But if we take everything in its entirety, okay, if we work out a worst case scenario here, this guy threw away $50,000 on a project that gave him no return on investment, and he did it in a way that it wasn't done through a production means that was on the level or probably best practices here, okay? And that he never had the intention of making this work for him. Best case scenario here is that he spent, you know, let's do 1/10 or 1/5 or whatever. Let's say he spent $10,000, okay? That's no small amount of money. He spent money on a project that was just for him. And that was it. It was not meant for anybody else, but it got out and it's hard to explain. If it was just for you and there was no return on investment, then dude, you spent money you now profess to not have while your channel's on a decline and you don't know what to do to save it. Like here, I can at least have some pity for YouTubers who, like, here's the thing, not every YouTuber is gonna be successful forever. There will be a time where the channel goes down on the decline. Your time in the spotlight's over, and you got to be ready for that. You got to know how to spend money on expenses, production, save it. All right, you don't have some company paying you and matching your 401k or whatever and putting money away. That's all on you. You got to be a good steward of your money, because eventually the good times will run out and you have to fall back on your savings. And if you're taking your savings that you don't really financially can justify what it's going toward, and you drop that much money on a project that's not really going to give you any kind of return, that's on you, dude. That's a bad business decision. So I guess overall, look at the bad choices here and learn from them. All right? Don't spend money you don't have. If you are spending money on projects that you hope to get a return on, know that there's a viable business strategy or a way to get that return on investment, or accept that if you're spending that much money, you might lose it, and you need to know what to do once you do lose that money. Will you be okay? If you're not, then don't spend that much money on a project. Try to rethink it or don't do it. Also, like with this exposure video, as far as like, I'll pay you an exposure, I don't like that either. That's a bad look. There's a better way to reframe that. If you want to work with your community and have fun, then do a smaller project, do fan art or something, but to basically tell folks, hey, do 10 seconds of animation, we might use it, and I'll pay you an exposure, maybe a plushie. Oh, I don't know, man. That's, you should be paying them no matter what when it's that much work. 10 seconds of animation's not cheap, nor is 3 minutes, apparently. So yeah, I'm just kind of shooting from the hip here, a very unusual kind of video. There's definitely a rabbit hole. I think the truth's out there. I just don't know how to find it. And it's a confusing situation. I gotta say, learn from this, all right? Especially if you're a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer or whatever, and you've got money, know how to save it, know how to use it, and don't be throwing that much money at a project that you have no idea where the pieces may fall, because it can completely backfire. Could he rally and maybe you can get a beatboxing video out of Charlie versus himself or something? Hey, maybe there's a springboard here going on he can use. I don't know. But overall, this is something where it goes to show you have to have a strategy when it comes to doing animated projects, and you have to know your budget. And that's a lesson to learn here. So, but what do you all think? Tell me down below in the comments, and I'll see you all next time. Okay, so the timing couldn't have been more like crazy and uncanny here. I was just rendering my video and I just got an update. I have a friend who is an animator, I'm gonna keep them anonymous, who actually hit me up being like, hey, I see you're working on this. Here's some information. I was contacted by him to be the animator to do this project back in the day. And here's some emails and some, I guess receipts to show what he was getting at. So confirmed, he had initially, I think he was aiming for 20 to 30,000, went up to 50,000. And that this video was never meant for his main channel. It was never meant to be anything that would give him a return on investment. This really was just a personal project, not business, but for his own, I guess, private selection as it goes, which seems to be the case because he had the video privated, and then in this correspondence, he's like, I don't know what to do with this. Buddy, you just spent $50,000, which is like the equivalent of a down payment for a nice home, and you don't know what you're doing with your final product. Because now I wonder, I feel that it was like, to him, a self-perceived righteous cause. Ah, yes, this previous music video was trash and not good. Mine's better. And also features an interracial couple, which, that's totally fine and cool. But like the optics of just taking the money and throwing it away. And then there's videos on your channel where you're like, the algorithm sucks, guys. The channel might be dying. I'm not doing so great. Your equivalent of the 50 grand could have been maybe 2 episodes of your own show that generates you money. So ultimately it's confirmed that the guy didn't have a game plan. This was a personal project. He was just that, I guess, turned on for Charlie. And that seems to be the story. Bad management of resources and having an idea for a project that really doesn't give you anything back in return. To such a high degree, high stakes. And also it seems that the entire question of was the Animator 15, nah, that didn't happen. That was just made up on Twitter. This was a team of professionals who he inquired and worked with ultimately. And that's still a bit of a mystery. I'm not sure who those people were, but he was vetting out well-seasoned professional animators initially to get this done. So it's very likely that's who eventually did this, were people who knew what they were doing, because again, that other was hearsay. So yeah, confirmed. This was just a crazy hell of a side project that ultimately cost him a lot of money and didn't give him much anything in return. What a weird story.